What's up, basketball fans, and welcome into another Big Man on Campus College Basketball Conference Tournament preview. We're taking a look at what might be the most underrated conference tournament in all of college basketball. We're taking a look at the MEAC Conference getting going on Monday, March 11th. This tournament will be played at the Scope Arena in Norfolk, Virginia. The number one seed is the Norfolk State Spartans. Norfolk State, a team that was able to dethrone Missouri a few years ago as a 15 seed. They're going to get another crack at the tournament here in Norfolk. They don't play till Wednesday. You look at the games getting going tomorrow. Got a couple, Savannah State and Delaware State. Delaware State, who many would argue is the worst team in the country, they should be out early. Coppin and Morgan getting going as well. A nice Baltimore rivalry in the first game of the tournament. Norfolk, the team to beat, in my opinion, and for many, the favorite. First of all, you get home court advantage, which is great. It's always nice to have the ability to play at home. This isn't their home gym. They play at Eccles Hall, but it is in Norfolk. And again, when you're Norfolk State, it's always great to play in Norfolk. They will have just 2 losses coming into the tournament. And what makes Norfolk so interesting is it's not conceivable to think that they should be undefeated in conference. You look at the first game they lost to Bethune-Cookman. I know because I had Bethune in that game. Their best player, Nick Thomas, didn't play, and Jordan Butler as well didn't play, their best rebounder. Both of those kids were suspended after a fight in the previous game against Howard University. So they didn't play in that game and lost by 8. If those two were in there, they would have won. The other game they lost on March 7th to Howard University was a bit of a revenge game for the Bison. They had lost the game. There was a fight afterwards. RJ caught 36 the other night, and they were able to get the job done. So, again, 2 losses, but could have very well been undefeated if they had certain breaks and suspensions go their way. This is a really good basketball team. I don't really know how else to say it. If you watch Norfolk, if you listen to me, I've discussed how good this group really is. When you're dealing with conferences like the MEAC, it's always important that you're not looking at season statistics. You're looking at conference statistics because most of these teams play bears of a schedule in the non-conference, and really it has no bearing on what they really are in the regular conference season. You look at defensively, they were absolutely stupendous all season. 3rd in the league in defensive efficiency, 1st in 2-point defense. And you look at offensively, what makes this group so good is their experience, first of all. They have a guy in Nick Thomas who's one of the best players in the league. They're a pretty good 3-point shooting team at 39.6%. It's rare in the MEAC you find a team that could shoot so effectively. They're also very good from the foul line, which, again, if you can shoot the ball in the MEAC, you're going to win a lot of games because most of these teams cannot shoot at a high level. They play with a lot of pace on offense, play with very little pace on defense, really make it hard to score on them in the half court. They're really just everything you look for as a team in this conference. They're really good. They're going to be really hard to beat. And you look at right away in this bracket, Norfolk State will get the winner of UMES and South Carolina State. All due respect to Maryland Eastern Shore, but you could ask certain people they are the worst team in the country if you ask certain people. South Carolina State, I mean, look, the Bulldogs have, at times played pretty well this season, but the truth of the matter is they're disastrous on the road. They only won 2 road games in the conference season. And in the non-conference, you look at in 32 games this season, South Carolina State won twice on the road, and that was at Morgan and Coppin. So they swept Baltimore, and everywhere else they lost. This is a team that lost on the road to Delaware State, to Maryland Eastern Shore, to Bethune-Cookman. I mean, seriously. And this team's an absolute mess on the road. They lost to USC Upstate on the road, Charleston Southern. This is a bad team away from home. They're going to get mollywopped early by Norfolk State. Norfolk State should advance right to the semifinals. Bethune-Cookman Howard is an interesting game. Both teams really good. Bethune is, though, a team that also have their fair share of road issues. They had some trouble away from home this year. A lot of the time in the MEAC, you're going to be really good at home, really poor on the road. Bethune-Cookman is a team that actually plays really good defense. The question issue for this group is, can they get enough offense? Because they turn the ball over a lot. They play with a lot of pace, but they're all over. And they are one of the worst foul shooting teams in the country. You look at on the season, 61% from the line. That's 3 from the bottom in the country. This team loses games because they cannot make free throws. They're playing a Howard team that I think Howard should be able to win this game. RJ Cole, good enough. This team's playing well to end the season, 4 in a row. And I think they're going to get a third crack, Norfolk State at Howard. This is a series where neither team likes each other very much. It should be a fun game. That's going to be the game of the tournament in this tournament on Friday. You get hopefully Howard and Norfolk State, which I think we'll see. Bottom half of the bracket, not a ton to like. It's basically going to be NC Central against NC A&T. That's going to be your other semifinal matchup. And look, if you're looking for a sleeper, it's hard to not take NC Central. Lavelle Moton is a mainstay in this tournament. Lavelle Moton's a guy that really should be at a better university. They are all about rebounding. They preach rebounding. Number one in offensive and defensive rebounding. The problem for North Carolina Central, again, is the big boo-boo in this conference. They can't win on the road. They've really struggled. They've lost 4 of 5 on the road. But anytime you have a guy like Rayshawn Davis and Randy Miller, this team is 16th in the country in experience. They've played a lot of basketball together, these guys. They're an older team. I think they can find a way to beat A&T. I like North Carolina A&T. Jay Joyner's a great coach, and they've been on fire. Their only loss since February 9th was to Norfolk State, a game in Norfolk. This is a league with a lot of old teams, a lot of guys that have been there for a while. These are going to be good battles. I think if we can get Howard and Norfolk and then NC A&T against NC Central, it's going to be a great tournament. This is not a conference where I'd expect many upsets. All the seeds below 5 are pretty heinous. The only team below a 5 that maybe can make some waves would be a team like Morgan State. The boys from Baltimore and Todd Bozeman. Bozeman, a pretty decent coach, but this team has been horrendous really since January 28th. They only have one win since that time, and it was against Delaware State. So, this is not a conference you're going to see a ton of upsets in. It pretty much goes by the book. I expect Norfolk State will be your champion, and I hope they are the champion. I really would like to see them, get a chance at maybe pulling off another upset. Look, I'm not sure they're going to do it, but hey, who knows? People are probably wondering where the Florida A&M Rattlers are. They're not in this tournament, I believe, due to APR issues. If you're not familiar with what APR issues are basically grade issues, which, I got to be honest, and I don't want to go into a rabbit hole on this. I could speak about it at another time, but this is absolutely despicable by the NCAA. I mean, the compliance crap is just so pathetic. You look at the APR and what it is. It's basically the academic performance rating. It's almost progress. And when you have teams from the MEAC, which we'll talk about it with the SWAC as well, these teams are forced into basically playing for money. They don't have enough money to fund their programs, so they go out and play really good basketball teams. You look at Florida A&M this year and the schedule they had to have. I mean, you look in late December. I mean, play Georgia Tech, Utah, Oregon, Memphis, DePaul, North Florida, South Florida, Campbell. I mean, these are all road games. It's so difficult to be a good student when you're doing this. You're basically being sold out for money. It's pathetic. And then at the end of the season, after going, doing a pretty nice job in the MEAC, you don't get to play in the conference tournament because your grades aren't up to par. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit, and it's pathetic, and it needs to change. These kids try their hardest. They come to play basketball somewhere, and it's absolutely sickening that they're held to some compliance, which they should have compliance, but there needs to be some sort of compliance to look at their fucking schedules early in the season. It's a shame. That's all. But so FAMU will not be in this tournament, but we'll miss them, and they'll be there in spirit. My pick for this conference, Norfolk State. Again, you could tell the passion I have talking about this conference. I really like it. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm hoping we can see another great MEAC tournament. As always, make sure to like and comment. If you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss a preview. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.